Good evening and namaskarams, everyone. It is my pleasure and privilege to welcome you all to the book launch of Kshetrayya Padams by the Suryakala Foundation. This has been authored in English by Dr. Kanakam Devaguptapu. It is but significant that this event is happening here in this auditorium because Kshetrajna, the word means the soul, that which resides inside the body. And this auditorium is called Tattvaloka. It is not Tattvaloka, it is Tattva Aloka. And Tattva also means the supreme nature of the soul. So everything is interconnected. And Aloka means light or lustre. And here we have the Suryakala Foundation. Surya is Tejasamapi Tejasvi, the light of lights. And we also have Dr. Kanakam, gold, as we know, shines as bright as the sun. So everything is coming together in a beautiful coalition. And since Vedanta is the cornerstone of all our arts and aesthetics, I've given this introduction. And this is also because we have Chiranjeevi Vedant Tidke, who will be rendering the disciple of Dr. Srimati Ranjani Ramakrishnan. And I cordially invite him to render the invocation.
Good evening, my name is Vedant and I'll be starting with a prayer. Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada. Now I'll be presenting a piece called Vallabhanayakasya. It's in Ragam Begada and Rupakatalam.
Thank you so much, Vedant. I request Dr. Kanakam to please give him a memento as a token of our appreciation. I also urge the audience to kindly put their hands together very loudly, because it is not often that we see a grandmother giving a memento to a grandson. It is my privilege to invite the honorable guests of this evening to the stage. Dr. Rita Rajan, Dr. Soumya Srinivasan, and Sri Malladi Suribabu garu. Dr. Devaguptapu Kanakam garu will escort them to the stage. Before I request Dr. Kanakam garu to please say a few words about the book that is to be released in a few minutes, it is also my privilege to give an introduction about her. Not that this august audience needs one, but as a matter of Sabha Maryada. Dr. Kanakam retired as head of the Department of English in the Qatar campus of NHL Stenden University of Applied Sciences, Netherlands. She has been a Veena practitioner for over 5 decades and a music teacher and researcher for over 20 years. Since her retirement, she has been devoting her time to musicology and music research with special focus on earlier centuries compositions in Telugu. She is striving to formalize, document, and share her research through books that serve as informative guides for practitioners and connoisseurs of music and dance. In her efforts to promote, propagate, and preserve invaluable compositions of yesteryears and bridge language barriers through comprehensive interpretation in English, she penned the following books through her family trust, the Suryakala Foundation for Performing Arts. She has edited and published Sankirtanarchana by Ms. Annapurna in the Telugu and English versions. She has also authored Varna Varnanam, wherein she has compiled, translated with detailed elucidation, notation, and audio support for 26 rare Tana and Padavarnams. This was in 2019. And this is her third book of Kshetrayya Padams. I invite her to kindly say a few words about her labor of love, this book.
Namaskaram to everyone. And it's such an honor, I should say, and a proud privilege that I have Soumya with me. I had her with me for the previous book launch and now for this book launch also. And last time, in fact, we shared so many sweet moments about the book. This time with her busy schedule, we are able to share now. So this is a very interesting thing, and like this, there are so many beautiful, interesting situations that have actually paved the way for the development of this book, I should say. because Sri Veturi Anandamurthy garu, I just knew him only as a scholar, as a great writer, as a person with excellent linguistic skills and so on and so forth, coming from such a lineage of Veturi. And I requested him for my Varnam book, can you please write the foreword, sir? Because I was at that time getting the forewords written, one from the dance perspective, one from the music perspective, and one from literary perspective. And when I asked Anandamurthy, sir, initially, like, some Kanakam called and asked. So he said, Amma, I'm quite busy right now, we'll do it later, or something like this. And later I didn't leave him. I said, no, sir, you please write. And it went on, and then finally he wrote, and it was such a beautiful foreword that he has given me. From then, as I went to give the books, and then it so happened I stumbled on a very interesting book that he has written on Kshetrayya Padams. And what is so unique about this book that he has written is that he has given excellent commentary for each padam. A commentary that elaborates, enhances, and delves deeper into the meaning of the padam. Because when we come to any composition, what exactly makes that composition stand, and how is it different from a ragalapana or a swarakalpana, it is the bhavam also that gets involved. That's where the composition gains its stature. And when I was reading his commentaries, beautifully he divided the entire range of the padams that he has chosen. There are about 35 padams in the book. He had divided them into 3 categories, and based on the nayaka, and then he again combined it with the human dhatus, where he named them on the dhatu swarupas. So this is a very beautiful interpretation and very, unique way of presenting the whole idea. And each padam, in each padam he was focusing on a certain element. For example, in some padams he was looking at the raga bhava. What exactly, suppose the padam is in todi, then he was telling why that todi added weight to the padam. And in some padams it was only the nayaka bhava. So what is it that the nayika here is so specially doing which makes this padam unique? And in another place, he writes about how it is so beautifully suitable for abhinaya. And there he says, like, it's such a beautiful padam. Actually, he is going to refer to it in his interpretation that we'll hear now. He says, like the nayika, the Sakhi is challenging the nayika. She says, she's challenging Manmadha, sorry. She says, how handsome are you? You think you are very handsome? You think you can win the world with your whatever skills you have? You cannot. My heroine is much, much superior to you. Such a beautiful padam it is. So when things like this are written, there the bhavam stands out so beautifully well, which is where he focused on, and he was elaborating on these aspects. So this is what makes this whole, the composition group that he has chosen very unique. He presented me a few books when I went to his house, and in that, this book attracted me so much. Of course, there were wonderful books written by his father, and then collection of various things, and so on and so forth. So, but somehow this, I thought, is a very novel approach to the whole concept of padam. So then I said, sir, can I translate this into English? Because I was feeling that, it is in Telugu, which is restricted only to the Telugu Nadu or Telugu-speaking people. So I have to see that these come out to general public as well. So this is what made me just approach him and say, can I just do this, sir? He said, sure, Amma, it's all yours. And from then, you believe me or not, he never ever interfered in what I was doing. He said, it is your book, you do what you want with it. This kind of freedom, like he just said, no, my book was that original Telugu book. Now this is yours. You do whatever you want to do with it. You have full liberty to do. I think that's a fantastic approach. Now, this is, he really deserves a big clap. Correct. At this, okay, these are all the nicer things. Now, the pains and problems that one faces when it comes to translation, this is where also I would like to, focus on, because a translation cannot be a literal. But again, a translation cannot deviate from the original. So how do we balance these two? That's a very, very big challenge. And in his time, people were so much more into the Telugu language, so enriched was the language itself, like what he thought that was just a common man's usage is a rarity even for us today. That kind of Telugu he wrote. That kind of Telugu was there in his commentary. And that kind of references he has given, like he has referred to Bhagavatam, he has referred to various compositions, Puranjanopakyanam. In Puranjanopakyanam, they say like this is what Puranjana did. These are all the, the types of ladies that actually are classified, and so on and so forth. Now, like, this was too much of knowledge that really I had to uplift myself to see that I understand what it is. And it involved a lot of reading, a lot of learning, a lot of education for myself. And I am thankful to him for giving me this opportunity to educate myself. Thank you, sir. And the next thing is, the problem that I had to face, I faced was, as I said, deviating from it. And the next thing is, all these references when I bring out, like I'm taking the meanings, I'm giving the ideas, I'm putting them all into words, but I don't know where it is from. I should know the source. He knows the source, so he happily wrote it. But what about me? I am just in a growing stage. Like, if he is a PhD student, I am a kindergarten student. Like that it went on. So I just thought, no, let me just read all those texts also. So my husband was telling, how long is your book going on like this? You'll never finish. Then I said, no, but I want to read this also. I want to understand what it says and then interpret it. Only then I can do better, rather justice to the whole thing. Then he understood. Then, it went on. And that's why I feel that this book is unique in more ways than one. Because I have given the transliteration and the translation in 2 columns. And I have given, of course, meanings and everything for anybody to understand the lyrics better. Because when we understand the lyrics, we sing better. I think all these stalwarts would agree. All of them would agree that unless we understand what we are singing, those lyrics, they don't mean anything to us. We can't vibe with them. Simple as that. So this is where I thought, let me do my little bit in unraveling in my own small little way, whatever I can. So it's not like it's a masterpiece of perfection or something. It is just my efforts, that's all. Which I put it in a book format. And we have 35 padams in them. The introduction is where I covered everything that I felt like. Because in the padams, I'm restricted to his commentary. I cannot deviate. I can't talk whatever I feel like in the padams. So I just stuck to his format. But in the introduction, I gave whatever I felt like giving, rather that which enhances the meaning of the book. And it's an effort. It was quite an effort, but it was a very, very satisfying and interesting effort. Today, I feel mentally a lot more mature, knowing, understanding what it is. And one sentence I really want to refer to, which Anandamurthy sir himself has written in the book. He says, how do you understand a padam? What is a padam? How do you understand it? He says, a padam can be a sankirtana, a padam can be a kirtana, a padam can be a padam can be a javali, a padam can be just words. So what is it that you are going to see in that? He says the totally pedantic, mundane level of understanding is only at the literal sense where you normally connect it with a javali type of a song where you're just talking about light small little things. That's all. But when you are talking about Sankirtana, it is praising the Lord. When you are talking about, Madhura Bhakti, you are talking about elevating the hero to a divine stature, and you are telling that your union with the divine is supreme. So all these points, he said, a padam is none of whatever we define, it is what an individual feels for himself about the song. I think this is a wonderful interpretation that he has brought out in his introduction, which I shared. Thank you so much. I think I took much more time than I should. Thanks a lot. Sorry? Oh, so sweet of you. Thank you so much. And I really, did a lot of thinking before I invited my 3 very precious guests. I invited them because, 2016, 2015, sometime they have done one with Alamelu Mani madam, with both of you. You all did one Padam workshop, Padam Legdem in Pardasar Swami Sabha. Like this, there were so many that I attended, and her, Rita Rajan madam's, articles I read on the musicality of Padams, which she published in Music Academy. So Saumya's, her Padam lectures, whether online, offline, if I could go, I go, otherwise would listen to the YouTube videos, so I heard. And sir, Malladi Suribabu sir, what else can I say? His Telugu is pristine, his Padam construction is beautiful, and he tuned 3 Padams for me in this book. So, which is, and he's going to sing present for us one of the Padams now. And, he learnt from Sripad Pinak Panigaru in such a way that the Padam is just not lyrics or Ragam or Talam, but it is a mixture of all this, which takes it to a sublime level. These things which I was privileged to listen and understand. Thank you so much, all 3 of you, for being with us this evening.
Thank you, madam. Your passion for the subject is so palpable. We enjoyed listening to you, and I guess it was your passion which also allowed you to carry away my paper. May I now invite Professor Veturi Anandamurthy garu and Sri Voruganti Subbarao garu to join the meeting on Zoom. It is my singular privilege to give the introduction about these 2 gentlemen to this audience. Dr. Veturi Anandamurthy garu he's a gold medalist from the Madras University, wherein he did his MA in Telugu language and literature. He earned his PhD from the Osmania University for his thesis titled Influence of Vaishnavism on Telugu Literature of the Vijayanagar period, with special reference to Talapaka poets. He retired as professor and head Department of Telugu of the Osmania University after a distinguished career of 37 years. Notably, he was the external expert and principal examiner in Telugu for Cambridge University for more than 18 years. He has worked as the editor and research head for a plethora of organizations and has unearthed several literary and musical gems of numerous poets and composers. To state but a sample, he discovered and deciphered the Tirumala music inscription published by the TTD in 1999. And this inscription dates back to 1500 AD, and it is a rare and unique research work in the field of music archaeology. To say that his writing has been prolific is an understatement. His output spans a wide spectrum of scholarly articles, critical essays, monographs, poems, plays, novels, short stories, seminar papers, and so forth. Rare prabandhas, unknown kirtanas of popular composers, unknown medieval composers are his areas of interest and specialization, and he has done yeoman service in discovering such notations and works. His list of awe-inspiring discoveries runs into several pages. He has edited some of the texts like Guttana Devi Ramayana Kirtanalu, Pedda Dasu Charitra, Narayana Tirtha's Parijataharana Yakshaganamu in Telugu. Encomiums bestowed upon this literary stalwart include Bhasha Samman National Award of the Sahitya Academy, New Delhi, honor received from Sri Krishna Devaraya Trust, Mauritius, honor from Bhakta Ramadasu Project, Khammam, the Tagore National Research Fellowship from the Ministry of Culture, New Delhi. Under this, he unearthed 7 notated compositions of Talapaka composers and brought out nearly 300 unpublished Sankirtanas of Talapaka Vagekaras. He has also received the Kala Ratna, the prestigious award from the AP government. The book will be released by Sri Voruganti Subbarao Garu, who had his early education in Rajamahendravaram. He did his BSc from the famed Maharaja College of Vijayanagaram. He later did his mechanical engineering from MIT Chennai, where Sri APJ Abdul Kalam was his junior. Sri Voruganti Subbarao Garu started his career as a junior engineer in the electricity department of Andhra Pradesh. He has worked across the globe in Holland, Netherlands, and Libya. Now, at the age of 95 in Visakhapatnam, he is a regular beach walker and is a member of Walkers International, All India Senior Citizens Organization, the Voltaire Club, etc. So we now come to the moment that we've all been waiting for, the book release, which will happen online since both the receiver and the giver are in 2 different parts of India.
I just wish to add one more sentence. Like Mr. V. Subbarao is my eldest brother. He is 95. Actually, he brought me up like a father. So he is a father figure for me. And I learnt about systematic research under Veturi sir. So he is like a guru figure to me. He's a guru. So and both are in their 90s. So I thought this is the best way I can show my offering to both of them. So that's why we said, no, you all have to come on Zoom at least, and we are going to have the book release only on your hands. Anaya, are you able to hear? Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's giving the book. He's passing the book. So he is receiving the book. Very nice.
Thank you so much, sirs. Though we call them non-agenarians, I think age by itself is a non-issue for them. We would like to play the recordings of their speeches.
Yeah, they said they cannot speak at this time.
First of Subbarao Garu.
Kshetrayya Padams.
The first.
தாங்கள் எல்லோருக்கும் என்னுடைய வணக்கங்கள்.
This is Dr. Veturi
நான்
Anandamurthy Garu.
பிறந்தது சென்னையிலே 1930 ஆண்டிலே. படித்ததும் பிரசிடென்சி காலேஜில் 50ஆம் வருஷத்திலே. அதனாலே நான் நேரிலே வந்து உங்களை பார்ப்போம் என்று நினைச்சிட்டு இருந்தேன். ஆனால் பிரயாணிக்கவும் பேசிக்கவும் முடியாததினாலே நேராக வர முடியலே. இல்லை என்றால் நேரிலேயே வந்து இன்னைக்கு வெளியிடப்பட்ட புஸ்தகத்தை வாங்கியிருப்பேன். அற்புதமான இந்த க்ஷேத்ரய பதம்ஸ் புஸ்தகம் இன்னைக்கு கையால் தொட்டதுடனே இதனுடைய நிறமும் கண்டென்ட் பார்க்கவே அன்னைக்கு திருவள்ளிக்கேணியில் இருந்த கோயம்புத்தூர் கிருஷ்ணய்யர் ஹோட்டல் வாழை இலையில் மிகவும் அன்புடன் சர்வ் பண்ண பாதம் ஹல்வா சுவை கண்ணுக்கு தோணிச்சு. ரொம்ப நன்றி. அதுக்கு பதிலாக கனகம்மாள் தேவகுப்தாப்பு தம்பதிகளுக்கு நான் என்ன கொடுத்தா சரியாகும்? வெறும் தேங்க்ஸும் blessings தவிர. God bless them all and all you dear friends. Master CVV Namaskaram. Gurudev VPS Namaskaram. Kshetrayya Padams. At the outset, I heartily welcome all the guests of the evening and the learned speakers and practitioners of the divine arts of music and dance. I am delighted. I am indeed indebted to the senior non-Asianarian Sri Veturi Anandamurthy for agreeing to unveil the book and present the first copy to me on this happy occasion of the book launch ceremony. I also welcome and congratulate the learned Devaguptapu couple and family members who have taken great interest in the preparation and the book launch function of this great work at Chennai, the cultural center in South India. It's a wonderful feeling for me to participate in this function. Though not physically on doctor's advice at Madras, at least through the linkage in this Zoom meeting. I heartily congratulate the author for her immaculate and alluring English version of the Telugu text Kshetrayya Padams. She has done me the favor of popularizing the viewpoints expressed in Telugu through translation. My thanks are due to the artist who designed the thoughtful cover page and other pictures so beautifully with an inlaid lively picture of Kshetrayya. It's a pleasure to hear the views of all the learned speakers of the evening and the captivating sounds of classical music through her efforts in getting the Padams notated by senior contemporary stalwarts in music. The charm of this well got up and voluminous work, translated and transliterated into English by Dr. Professor Kanakam Devaguptapu, is in its very useful and profuse additions and annotations. This book is worth its weight in gold by helping readers interested in our culture and also the practitioners of music and dance. క్షేత్రయ్య పదాలు మన సంగీత నృత్య కళల బంగారు మేలిమిని ఎత్తి చూపే ఓరిపిడి రాళ్ళని, వాడుక తెలుగు భాషలోని మాధుర్యాన్ని ముమ్మూర్తులా ప్రతిబింబించే సాహిత్య దర్పణాలని వాంగ్మయతత్వం ఎరిగిన పెద్దలు అంటారు. ఇలా సంగీత సాహిత్య నృత్య కళల మైత్రితో ముప్పేటిగా చదువుల తల్లి శిరస్సును అలంకరించిన జటాజూటమి క్షేత్రజ్ఞుల పదవాంగ్మయం. వీరికి ఎంచుకో పూర్వులైన అన్నమాచార్యాదుల మధుర శృంగార భక్తి, రామదాసాదుల భజన సేవానురక్తి క్షేత్రయ్య పదాలలో ముచ్చటగా పెనవేసుకున్నవి. ఒక పూర్వ మహాకవి భావన విభిన్న సాహిత్య ప్రక్రియల్లో అనంతర కాలాన ఎట్లా విస్తరించి ప్రతిఫలిస్తుందో సూచనగా చూపడానికి ఈ గ్రంథంలో మేము ప్రకటించిన ఉదాహృతులే చాలనుకుంటాను. గండుమేలకు పుట్టి కామబాణములలో కలిసి ఆడెడినట్టి కనుగవయు, బిసకాండముల శిక్ష పెరిగి లేదూడుల మెచ్చకయున్నట్టి మృదుకరములు అనే తిక్కన గారి స్త్రీ అంగవర్ణనలోని చలన చైతన్యాన్ని అందుకొని సంఖ్యాబలంతో అన్నమయ్య వరాలి రాగ సంకీర్తనం ఒకటికి నోడాయే ఉవిదని బలగము అని ఎట్లా రూపుదిద్దుకున్నదో అదే మాదిరిగా సంఖ్యాబలాన్ని పోటీగా పెట్టి పెంపు చేకూర్చుకొని ఏ తీరున రమణి గెలిచి నీవు ఎట్లు రూపవుదువో చూతమరార మదన, నీ చేతి బలిమి మా చెలియ బలిమి అనే క్షేత్రయ్య పదంగా ఎలా పరిణమించిందో తెలుసుకోవడానికి ఈ గ్రంథంలోని చివరి తెలుగు 42-43 పుటల్లో చూడదగును. క్షేత్రయ్య పదాల సంగీతంలోని విలంబగతిని ఆస్వాదించడానికి శ్రీమతి వీణ ధనమ్మల్ బృందా ముక్తాల గాత్రగతి, మంచాళ్ళ జగన్నాథరావు గారి వీణావాదన రీతి వ్యక్తం చేస్తున్నవి. వారి సంగీతం తంజావూరి పాట సంప్రదాయం నుండి పుణికి పుచ్చుకున్నదే అని మనకు దేవాలయ రాజస్థానాలను అంటిపెట్టుకుని వర్ధిల్లిన దేవదాసి సంప్రదాయ కథనాలు చెబుతున్నవి. ఆనాడు వారందరూ కూడా గొప్పగా సంగీత సాహిత్య నాట్యాది లలిత కళల్లో ఆరితేరిన వారే. ఇక పదకర్తల గాన ప్రావీణ్యానికి మన ప్రాచీన సంకీర్తన పద సంప్రదాయమే సాక్ష్యం. అన్నమయ్య కాలం నాటి తొలి రోజుల్లో సంకీర్తనం పదం అనేవి వేర్పాటు లేని పర్యాయ పదాలే. వారి గేయ స్వర సంచారాలకు తంజావూరు, తిరుపతి వంటి చోట్ల గల తాళపత్రాల్లోనూ, తామ్రపత్రాల్లోనూ, కాగితపు ప్రతుల్లోనూ దొరికే సాక్ష్యాలే మిక్కిలిగా ఉన్నవి. అంతేగాక వాటితో పాటుగా ఈ గ్రంథంలో అధికంగా ముందు తరం వారైన ఆచార్య విశ్వాపారావు పంతులు గారు మున్నగు పెద్దలతో పాటు తరువాతి తరం వారైన ఆచార్య వరేణ్యులు శ్రీ ఆరుద్ర, గంగప్ప, హెచ్ఎస్ బ్రహ్మానందం, సుప్రసిద్ధ పాత్రికేయులు శ్రీ జి కృష్ణ వంటి వారల విలువైన అభిప్రాయాలు చోటు చేసుకోవడం విశేషం. ఇవన్నీ శ్రమసాధ్యమైన గ్రంథకర్త్రి యొక్క పరిశోధనకు, కృషికి తార్కాణాలు. To trace all such facts, it is enough to refer back to evidences provided by stalwarts like Veena Ramanujaya's Sangeeta Sarvartha Sara Sangrahamu SSSS and Subbarama Dikshitulu in his Sangeeta Sampradaya Pradarshini SSP. But for their efforts in this direction, we would not have got so many such notated padams. Besides those evidences mentioned above, I had the pleasure of unearthing the padam cited in page 42 of the last Telugu section, Chenadana Chenadanara in Ragam, Yedukula Kamboji. Together with notations, we find this particular song in the compilation of Padams of Dr. Gidugu Sitapati Garu, also sans notations. The peculiarity worthy of notice in this manuscript seen by me is in its placing of the notations separately in the middle of the song, which differed from other sources. Unlike the placing of notations in the top line corresponding to each syllable of Sahityam in the second line, as in Tirumala music inscription TMI, 2. Notations followed in the second line for each syllable of Sahityam on the top line as in current practice. 3. As noticed in this manuscript, notations are placed separately in the middle of the song. When examined, the swaras given also match with the Sahityam syllables. From this above observation, it is evident that there were distinctly 3 modes in writing notations in ancient times, and practicing songs according to notations was also in vogue. తాళపత్రాల్లో పేర్కొనబడిన స్వరరాగాలను విస్మరించకుండా చారిత్రక పరిణామ దృష్టితో వాటిని నిలువరించుకుంటూనే అవసరాన్ని అభిరుచులను బట్టి కాలానుగుణమైన మార్పులు చేసుకునేవారు అని విషయజ్ఞులు తెలుసుకోగలరు. With these few words, I conclude my spandana, thanking once again Madam Kanakam Devaguptapu for giving me this favor and honor of meeting you all and presenting my views in this book launch function. Thanking you once again, I remain sincerely yours, Veturi Anandamurthy.
Thank you so much, sir. For those of you who don't know, Veturi Anandamurthy Garu has had a cousin who is Veturi Sundaramurthy Garu, who was a very, very famed film lyricist. And it reminds me of one song he wrote, one immortal song, wherein he says, Viri Uchvasam Kavanam, Viri Nishwasam Ganam. That means his inhalatory breath is poetry and his exhalatory breath is music. I think this is a sort of passion that only the Veturi family can bring to fore. We'll now have Subbarao Gari's speech.
To all of you, on the stage and off the stage. I am Orient Subbarao, aged 95 years, eldest brother of Devaguptapu Kanakam. We are belong to the Orient family. Our parents are late Orient Puspatrao and Suri Rama. Age difference between me and Kanakam is 23 years. We are happy, I am happy to be here on this occasion and to participate in this event. I consider it as a great pleasure and great honor to meet Sri Veturi Anandamurthy Garu, though not on a physical platform, to the context of the context of my sister, Devaguptapu Kanakam, releasing her Kshetrayya Padam book. Due to age and health considerations, I am sorry to say that I am unable to physically be present in your midst and share the joy of the occasion. Sri Anandamurthy garu published his book Kshetrayya Padams, Kshetrayya, first edition in Telugu in 1989, which was revised and republished in Telugu in 2022 by my sister Kanakam Devaguptapu. The current English version, Kshetrayya Padams, first edition, that my sister is bringing out today, is in English translation of the book Kshetrayya Guru, second edition 2022. The original Telugu book contains commentaries for 35 select Padams of Kshetrayya that Sri Veturi Anandamurthy brought out earlier. The unique feature of this book is that in the commentaries he focused on various aspects: nayaka-nayika, theme, mood, music, ragas, dance, philosophy, spirituality, references to Bhagavatam and Puranic episodes, social conditions and practices of those days, and their influence on cultural practices. He also dwelt on the influence of all the above on Kshetrayya, his usage of literary and musical expressions, and his writing style. The commentary that is given after each padam deals with one or more of the aspects that are listed above. Srimati Kanakam brought out the nonsense extremely well in her English translation of the same. Thanks to the organizers for giving me this opportunity to introduce myself and to give my expression, my feelings and expression on this occasion.
Thank you so much, Subbarao Garu, for your affectionate address. We are very fortunate to have with us in person 3 stalwarts. And we have Srimati Neela Rajan here, who hails from a family of musicians at Kanchipuram. She initially learned from her mother and grandmother, focusing on Tyagaraja Kirtanas of the Balajapet Shishya Parampara. She learned music in the traditional Gurukula system for 6 years from Vidwan Ranjani Ramakrishnan. She also later learned from Srimati Brinda and Srimati Mukta. She also had the opportunity to give vocal support to Srimati Brinda in her prestigious concerts and documentations. Srimati Neela Rajan also had special training from Vidwan Maruthuvakudi Rajagopal Iyer of the Umayalapuram Shishya Parampara of Tyagaraja. Srimati Neela Rajan is a renowned performer and musicologist, having been awarded PhD for her thesis, Pathantaras in the Compositions of the Musical Trinity from the University of Madras. She retired as Professor and Head, Department of Music, Queen Mary's College, Chennai. And presently she is the Associate Director of the Advanced School of Carnatic Music in the Madras Music Academy. Apart from the Central Sangeet Natak Academy Award, she has also been the recipient of the Madras Music Academy's Musicologist Award and the Sangeeta Kala Acharya Awards. Madam, we are very, very honored to have you in our midst. I request Dr. Kanakam to kindly give her a token of appreciation, after which I also request Dr. Rita to address the gathering. We request the 3 dignitaries to formally. Okay. Yes. moving forward. Srimati S. Soumya is one of the world's leading exponents of the Carnatic tradition of vocal music. She is reputed for her deeply classical style and for her large repertoire, spanning a wide spectrum of composers, including some of the rarest works of the Carnatic Trinity. After several years of learning from Dr. Ramanathan, she was also encouraged by him to undergo further training from Vidushi T. Mukta. She is also a passionate promoter and practitioner of Tamil Isai. Dr. Soumya is a fine exponent of the Saraswati Veena, one of the world's oldest musical instruments. She is known for her path-breaking research work in enhancing the tonal stability of the mridangam, the preeminent percussion instrument in South Indian music. She is currently the Vice Chancellor of the Tamil Nadu Dr. J. Jayalalitha Music and Fine Arts University and a visiting professor at the Music Academy, Madras. She attributes her success and achievements to her gurus and to the bountiful blessings of her beloved Ambal, the goddess Kamakshi of Kanchipuram. Dr. Kanakam will offer a small memento. We also have with us Vidwan Malladi Suribabu garu. In Sanskritam, the word Suri refers to a Vidwan. I think his parents must be saluted for their foreknowledge to name him so. That's why we have the commentator of Kalidasa's works called Malinatha Suri, who hails from Rajamantri. And we also have Paravastu Chinnaya Suri, the Pandit who codified Telugu grammar. The term Suri also refers to the sun, and he has two suns who are shining like the sun in the realm of Carnatic music. Malladi Suribabu garu can also be called Malladi Suribabu garu. And if you've heard some not so good music with not so good pronunciation, his music will definitely be a melody to your ears. He has received the prestigious Sangeet Natak Academy Award, the TTK Award from the Madras Music Academy, and is an A-top grade artist of the AR. We are very honored to have you now, Miss Sir, along with the disciples, to present on Kshetrayya Padams. Dr. Kanakam will offer a souvenir. I request the three dignitaries to formally unveil the book today as an in-person event. I invite Dr. Rita Rajan to please address the gathering.
Namaskarams to everyone. I'm so happy. All my pranams to Sri Veturi Anandamurthy garu, Oraganti Subrao garu, and Professor dear Kanakam Devaguptapu, Malladi sir, my dear Soumya. I am so happy to see so many illustrious Telugu families. I'm so happy. Malladi sir, my dear Amukta, her father named her after Kshetrayya's famous Telugu Amukta Sudar. We say it in Tamil. And I enjoyed the book. I enjoyed the book of Professor Kanakam so much. More than that, her talk was so wonderful. She said that Veturi Anandamurthy garu never interfered with whatever she was going on with his, with the translation and transliteration of his work. I was just reminded of my Guru Brindama. We produced a TV program, feature, Doordarshan, on Kshetrayya Padams. And you'll be surprised, Brindama never interfered. She said, the professor பொண்ணு வருவா அவளை கூட்டு ஏன்னா என்ன எழுதுகிறாளோ எழுதிக்கிட்டோம் எனக்கு ஒரே பயம் அம்மா no, you please write whatever has to be written. And also you choose the padas which have to be sung. I will not come and I will not interfere. So I was reminded of that when Professor Kanakam said that Veturi Anandamurthy garu never interfered. So I just couldn't keep quiet. I just read to her whatever I wrote for the TV. She just listened to that. And whatever line she said, padas have to be sung in Suryakala, and it's not possible to just interpret them in notation. Just add these two lines, and just, yes, you can carry on with whatever you have written. And so that kind of liberty we have been given by our elders. And I was so pleased to hear Dr. Veturi Anandamurthy garu speak in Tamil now and then. Younger in our house, we were all taught Telugu, to read and write Telugu when we were children. It was compulsory. My grandmother's notebooks, all the notations were in Telugu. One Vadiyar will come and teach us how to read and write Telugu. And simple padyams. Indra Neelamunal pu, Indra Chalamunal pu, the Madhuri. Ramachandrudu Nalpu Malla. So we were taught in nursery rhymes, like nursery rhymes, we were also taught Telugu, simple Telugu songs. We were taught to read and write Telugu, that was compulsory. And I was also, when Dr. Kanakam said there is so much difference between the Telugu that was in the past and what's going on now, and that's really a wonderful experience for any people who are really interested, because even in Tamil, we have such kind of change in the style, in the interpretation. There are also Tamil Padams. They used to think in Dhanamal's family, Padari Varugudu, Varigiradil, Varugudu. Varugudu, Kasakasa, another Kasakasan, Kusukusan, Napashin. So in the Madari slang, so what kind of Tamil in the communicative, the page Tamil, what was there in those days, they are all very interesting. We should not change them to pure Tamil, what we are speaking now. and what has been going there in writing. Writing is different from speaking. So all these, so many interesting things we had to learn. And this book is such a colossal book, I should say. அது எனக்கு, I just read it, and I think I just compare myself to the cow. Just take it and then just sit and contemplate what is there. You know. They say there are 4 digestive channels in the cow's stomach. So after having swallowed the food, initially the cow sits somewhere and slowly digests. The food goes to the first channel, then the second chamber, or whatever it is in the stomach, then third and fourth, and so. And like that, I had to go through this book, enjoy myself, understand what is there, and also the interpretations. And it should, I mean, I will be doing injustice to her if I say I read your book. It's so beautiful. Madam, I just started. That's perfectly fine. I'll read it slowly. I'll come back to you again and again.
And we'll have a separate function for that.
Yes. It's so interesting. I don't know. அதாவது இந்த பழைய லாங்குவேஜஸ், தெலுங்கு, தமிழ், அதே மாதிரி my husband, who speaks Kannada, he used to say, Kumara Vyasa's Mahabharatam in Kannada. He says that the Kannada written there is something very, very unique, not the Kannada what that was going on after some time, after Kumara Vyasa's time and then later. And so in all the languages, you have these stages, and it's very interesting that you come across any genuine lover of the art, lover of literature, music. I mean, like in music also, how they were sung in those days, how in the meantime it changed, and how we sing today. These are very interesting factors, and I'm so happy I'm here today. This book has come out so beautifully. அப்படியும் I just read it. படித்தேன். அதில் அந்த ஒரு முக்காரி பதம், முக்காரி, அதில் வந்து இட்ஸ் ஆன் காஞ்சிபுரம் வரதராஜா. I am, because it was on Kanchipuram Varadaraja, Kshetrayya had so much time spent in Kanchipuram, and his name was Varadayya. His Purvika name was Varadayya. So, and the Sondavur Abhimanam. அதையும் படித்தேன். முக்காரி யூஸ்வலி வி சே இட் இஸ் நாட் கருண ரசராக அது இதுன்னு. பட் ராமராஜா தியாகராஜா சிங்ஸ் கார்பாரு சேவார் in Mukari. So I like that Padam and the translation and your comments, madam. It was so wonderful. It's an experience to go through all these 35 Padams one by one, read them, just contemplate, just meditate, and understand, and have that kind of mental satisfaction that you have really learned something. And அந்த ஒரு திருப்தி இருக்கு இல்லையா, அது வந்து that's something very unique, I will say. I'm so happy this function is ரொம்ப ஒரு கௌரவமாக, ரொம்ப சந்தோஷமாக, ரொம்ப அழகாக நடந்துட்டுருக்கு. I'm so happy. I'm happy that Soumya is here, Malladi is here. ரொம்ப சந்தோஷம். உங்களெல்லாம் பார்க்குறதுக்கு ஐ எம் ஸோ ஹாப்பி. தேங்க்யூ. நமஸ்கார்.
Thank you so much for your warm words, ma'am. I now invite Vidushi, Dr. Soumya, to kindly address the gathering.
Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. My pranams, namaskarams to all on the screen, on the dais, and in the audience here. I would like to look at the book on the one hand and the author on the other hand. புக்குன்னு எடுத்துட்டான்னா இந்த புஸ்தகம் வந்து இட்ஸ் a delight, as Rita ma'am rightly said. It's an experience really. From a spiritual perspective, from an artist perspective, from linguistic perspective, எந்த ஒரு எடுத்துட்டாலும் from a learner's perspective, from an artist perspective, ரெண்டுமே எல்லாமே பார்த்தானா ஒரு முழுமையான கம்ப்ளீட்டான ஒரு புஸ்தகம்னா அது வந்து இந்த க்ஷேத்ரிய பதம். எனக்கு தெரிஞ்சது ஆல்சோ ஆஸ்கிங் மேம், ரீதா மேம் கிட்டக்க, க்ஷேத்ரிய பதத்துக்கு நோட்டேஷனோட அது இந்த பதம் மாத்திரம் இருக்கிற ஒரு புக்குன்னா அது இதுதான் நினைக்கிறேன் நான். மற்ற புஸ்தகத்தில் வந்து ரங்கராமானுஜயங்கர் அவரோடதோ இல்லை சங்கீத சௌரபமோ அதுவோ இல்லைன்னா அவளே சொன்ன மாதிரி பல புஸ்தகங்கள் பழசு அதில் எல்லாமே இருக்கும். ஆனால் இதுக்குன்னு தனித்துவமாக ஒன்று அதுக்கு அர்த்தத்தையும் போட்டு அதுக்கு நோட்டேஷனையும் கொடுத்து அதில் ஒவ்வொரு விதமான translation, interpretation, you name it, you have all that, but never shun the book. It's a fantastic book. அந்த மாதிரி இருக்கிற it's such a delight. It's really an experience. அவள் ரொம்ப அழகாக மேம் சொன்ன மாதிரி இதை ஆசை போட்டு பண்ண வேண்டிய விஷயம். அது கொஞ்சம் கொஞ்சமாக எடுத்து ஒரு ஆங்கிளாக அதை ரசித்து அனுபவித்து பண்ணினா அது ஒரு அழகு. About the author சொல்லும் பொழுது, which I would definitely like to, elaborate upon, if I may. I can't express my joy. Kanakam amma வந்து every time, whatever work she's done, I don't know, I think I'm simply blessed to have been a part of it. And the dedication and the passion. அந்த புக்கில் இருக்கிறது வந்து நம்ம புக்கில் பார்க்குறது இல்லை. We heard in her speech today, the animated way in which she was explaining, her smile, the very expressions on her face. அந்த ஒரு பேஷன் எதை பண்ணினாலும் ஃபுல்லாக பண்ணணும். இன்ஃபேக்ட் இந்த ஏர்லியர் occasion அந்த வர்ணத்தை பற்றி போட்ட புக்கில் ஒவ்வொரு லாங்குவேஜ், இட் வாஸ் நாட் ஜஸ்ட் இங்கிலீஷ் அலோன் இன் தட். பார்த்து ஒன்று பார்த்து எப்படி கரெக்டாக இருக்கா இதுவாக இருக்கா அதோட அர்த்தத்தை பார்த்து. ஸோ அவளோட ஒரு பல மல்டி டைமென்ஷனல் பர்சனாலிட்டி வெளியில் வருது. ஆஸ் எ டீச்சர், as an educationist, if I may say so. என்னெல்லாம் ஒரு ஸ்டூடெண்ட்டுக்கிட்ட கொடுத்தா அந்த அவளுக்கு போய் நிஜமாக போய் சேரும். வார்த்தை மாத்திரம் கொடுத்தா அவளால் பண்ண முடியுமா? இல்லை நோட்டேஷன் மாத்திரம் கொடுத்தா அதை ஐடென்டிஃபை பண்ண முடியுமா? இல்லை, அதுக்கு அர்த்தத்தையும் கொடுத்து சரி உச்சரிப்பு கரெக்டாக இருக்கணுமோ இல்லை எல்லாருக்கும் பாஷை தெரியுமா? இல்லை, அது அந்த டிரான்ஸ்கிரிப்ஷனும் ப்ராப்பராக போட்டு அது எல்லாத்துக்கும் அதுக்கு முன்னாடி சரி எனக்கு இது தெரியலையே, முதல்லையே பார்த்துருங்க, உங்களுக்கு அழகாக அட்டவணை கொடுத்துருக்கு இண்டெக்ஸில் என்னெல்லாம் வாட் மீன்ஸ் வாட் அப்படிங்கிறது இருக்குது. ஸோ ஒரு எஜுகேஷனிஸ்ட் நான் வாழ்ங்கிறது, ஷீ இஸ் பீன் டூயிங் தேட். அது அப்படியே இட்ஸ் லைக் டோட்டலி சீன் இன் ஆல் ஹர் ஒர்க்ஸ், டெஃபினெட்லி இன் திஸ் புக் ஆல்சோ. முதல்லேருந்தே கம்ப்ளீட்டாக எவ்ரி திங் இஸ் தேர் ஃபார் யூ. another, she herself is a fantastic musician. அது அந்த நோட்டேஷன்லேருந்து தெரியும். நோட்டேஷன்னு சொல்லும்பொழுது சரி ஏதோ புக்கிலேருந்து பார்த்து எடுத்து போட்டோமான்னு இல்லை. ஷீ டேக்ஸ் பெயின்ஸ் டு கிவ் இட் டு பீப்புள். நீங்கள் பண்ணி கொடுங்க, ஏற்கனவே இருக்குன்னா அதையும் போடுவா. ஓகே, திஸ் வெர்ஷன் இஸ் தேர் இன் திஸ் புக், இந்த மாதிரி கொடுத்துருக்கு. இல்லை அதுக்கு வேறு வெர்ஷன் வேணும் அப்படின்னா ஷீ வில் கிவ் இட் டு பீப்புள். யார் அதை எடுத்து பண்ணுறா, என்ன தோன்றுறது, டிஸ்கஷன் வச்சு அது எப்படி நோட்டேட் பண்ணினா எவ்வளோ நல்லாயிருக்கும், அது எப்படி பாடுறவாளுக்கு நல்லாயிருக்கும் அப்படிங்கிற ஒரு மியூசிஷியன்ஸ் பெர்ஸ்பெக்டிவும் ஷீ டெஃபினெட்லி கிவ்ஸ் ஒன்றுத்துக்கும். அவளே சொன்ன மாதிரி ஐ திங்க் 3 of them have been tuned by 3 of them, right amma? 3 have been tuned by Suribabu garu. So அந்த மாதிரி, and definitely her daughter being a dancer, she definitely looks at all these works. ஏன்னா ஒரு பதம் and a வர்ணம் அப்படின்னு சொல்லும் பொழுது ஒரு நாட்டிய நிகழ்ச்சிக்கு ஒரு டான்ஸுக்கு அது ரொம்ப முக்கியமாக இருக்குது, அபிநயம் பெர்ஸ்பெக்டிவ். ஸோ அந்த ஆங்கிள்லேருந்தும் பார்த்து எப்படியெல்லாம் அப்ரோச் பண்ணலாம், what are the ways, that is why I think the interpretation comes in. And her introduction, which is like a tani book in itself, copious information and her expression of her passion totally அதில் இருக்குது. பட் அதெல்லாமும் இதில் பார்க்கலாம், because I've seen her work. I've been like கூட உட்காந்து அந்த முன்னாடி புக்குக்கு எப்படி அவள் ஒர்க் பண்ணுறாங்கிறது பார்த்தேன், எந்தெந்த ஆங்கிளில் பார்த்தா நல்லாயிருக்கும் அப்படின்னு. ஸோ அந்த மாதிரி. அண்ட் தெலுங்கை பற்றி வேறு ஒகேஷனில் சொல்லும்போது சொல்லியிருக்கா, அந்த தெலுங்கு ரொம்ப டிஃப்ரெண்ட். அது ரொம்ப டிஃப்ரெண்ட். அதுக்கு டிஃப்ரெண்ட் நொட்டேஷன்ஸ் இருக்கும், ஒரு கமா இருக்கும், அது ஈ ஊ அந்த மாதிரிலாம் நடுவில் சேரும், அந்த மாதிரிலாம் பல விஷயங்கள். அதெல்லாமும் இந்த அவர் சொன்ன மாதிரி, பெரியவர் சொன்ன மாதிரி, அவர் ஆனந்தமூர்த்தி காரு சொன்ன மாதிரி, அந்த மாதிரி பழைய தெலுங்குலையும் அந்த ஒரு அப்ரிசியேஷன். ஸோ லிங்குவிஸ்டிக் இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட், ஹர் பர்சியூட்ஸ் அண்ட் தேட் ஆல்சோ. எனார்மஸ் லைப்ரரி தனியாக அவளே வச்சுட்டுருக்கா. ஒன்றுத்துக்கும் தெலுங்கு புக் வேணும்னா அவள்கிட்ட போகலாம். ஷீ இஸ் லைக், அண்ட் ஷீ இது அவள்கிட்ட போகணுன்னு நான் சொல்லிட்டு புக்கை பார்க்குறதுக்குல அவளே கேட்டாலே போகிறோம். ஷீ இஸ் அன் என்சைக்ளோபீடியா ஹர் செல்ஃப். ஸோ ஐ எம் ஸோ ஹாப்பி டு பி ஹியர், அண்ட் எஸ்பெஷலி இன் த புக், ஆஸ் அ ஸ்டூடெண்ட், ஆஸ் அன் ஆர்டிஸ்ட், as a person who loves to learn languages also. அப்படி சொல்லும்போது ரிதா மேம் ரொம்ப அழகாக சொல்லிட்டு இருந்தா. அவள் அப்படி அவளோட தெலுங்கு இதை பற்றி சொல்லிட்டு இருந்தா கற்றுனேன். எனக்கும் எங்கள் குரு சொல்கிறது ஞாபகம் வருது. அவர் டாக்டர் வந்திருக்கா இங்கே, டாக்டர் வானதி ரகுராம். அவள் எல்லோரும் ஹிந்தி கற்றுக்க சொன்னார். அவர் எல்லோரும் ஹிந்தி கற்றுக்கணும் அப்படின்னு. நான் ஸ்கூலில் ஹிந்தி படித்ததுனால ஐ வாஸ் எக்ஸம்டட் ஃப்ரம் தேட். பட் he said learn தெலுங்கு. நான் தமிழே அறக்குறேன், தமிழ் படித்ததே இல்லை ஸ்கூலில். சரி, தாத்தா சொல்லிட்டாரேங்கிறதுக்காக லேர்ன் தெலுங்கு த்ரூ தமிழ் அந்த புஸ்தகத்தை வச்சு எழுதி 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 பார்த்து கற்றுனேன். அப்புறம் கேட்டார், அப்பப்போ கேட்பார், என்ன பண்ணிட்டியா அப்படின்னு. சரி, ஏதோ நான் கற்றுன்ட்டேன் தாத்தா அப்படின்னு ரொம்ப வீராப்பா சொன்ன போக அவர் he used to be the examiner for many of these thesis எல்லாம் from different universities. ஒரு தீசிஸ் கொடுத்து எங்கே படி அப்படின்னு. நான் அண்ட் சா தெலுங்கில் கொஞ்சம் சட்டுன்னு ஏமாந்துட்டோன்னா ஒரே மாதிரி இருக்கும். பா வா கொஞ்சம் ஒரே மாதிரி இருக்கும். நான் மாற்றி மாற்றி படித்து ஒரு பேராகிராஃப் படிக்கிறதுக்குலையுமே சரி நீ வச்சுடும் அப்புறம் பார்க்கலாம் அப்படின்னு விட்டார். அவ்வளோதான். பட் அதுக்கப்புறம் தான் ஐ மீன் நோயிங் தாத்தா சரி அப்படின்னா சரி போகிறோம் இதோட நிறுத்திக்கோங்கிற மாதிரி இப்படி. பட் இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் ப்ராக்டிஸ் பண்ணி நல்லா கற்றுன்னு அப்புறம் வான்னு. பட் தேட் வாஸ் ஹவ் ஐ ஆல்சோ லேர்ன்ட் தெலுங்கு, டு ரீட் அண்ட் ரைட் தெலுங்கு. எகெயின் எல்லாமே எங்கள் குரு, இதுவும் அவரால் ஒரு கற்றுன விஷயம். பட் நான் சொல்கிறேன், this is a must. நான் சொல்கிறது இட்ஸ் நாட் இது நிஜமாகவே எவ்ரி ஸ்டூடெண்ட், எவ்ரி லைப்ரரி ஷுட் ஹேவ் திஸ், எவ்ரி ஸ்டூடெண்ட் ஆல்சோ ஷுட் ஹேவ். இப்போ கரண்ட் பொசிஷன்னால் ஐ வில் டெஃபினெட்லி டெல் அம்மா தட் ஐ வில் டெஃபினெட்லி பிக் அ ஃபியூ காப்பீஸ் ஃப்ரம் ஹர் ஃபார் அவர் யூனிவர்சிட்டி லைப்ரரி and make sure that they all understand, read, use and put it into practice in a very nice way. Thank you so much, Amma, for inviting me and for giving me an opportunity to be here this evening. Namaskarams to all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rita Madam and Soumya. Sorry, I said Soumya. I think I should say Soumya Madam. Vandama? Okay, Soumya. So, it's such a joy, when people appreciate, rather recognize our hard work. That is where I am thankful to both of you for your wonderful, nice words for the book and for it is done. And Malladi Suribabu sir, he said while singing he is going to talk. So that is going to be along with the program. And before that, I thank you both once again for coming over and being a part of this celebration. Thank you.
There are two artists who couldn't make it and who will come online. So we will ready the stage for their online presentations as well as the offline presentation by Suribabu Garu as well as by Lakshmi Mani and Jayanti Subramaniam. So I request you all to kindly take your places in the auditorium.
Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. My namaskarams to all the
The first to go on Zoom is
musicologist on stage, Madam. Sangeeta Kalanidhi, Dr. S. Soumya, and Dr. Malladi Suribabu garu, and all the music enthusiasts and literary enthusiasts who are attending the function. I happen to be participating in this book release function which is happening at Chennai offline solely for the reason that I am the daughter of Professor Veturi Anandamurthy garu, who authored the book on Kshetrayya, which Dr. Kanakam Devaguptapu garu translated it. At the outset, I heartily congratulate Dr. Kanakam garu on the release of her third book, Kshetrayya Padams. Hearty congratulations. She herself mentioned all the difficulties that she faced while translating the work. She used to often visit my father, traveling all the way from Chennai to Bangalore during the translation process, and take his inputs. And I used to see her enthusiasm while doing this work and the involvement. I'm sure she is a very satisfied person today. The book, this voluminous book, has come out extremely attractively. Much has been said by all the other senior artists. One point I would like to mention that it's not only just a translation, but as Dr. Soumya mentioned, it's all the 35 padams that have been presented in this book are notated for everyone's benefit. And to print notations is not an easy job at all. So her musical experience, Dr. Kanakam garu's musical experience has come in handy. And with that experience, she has printed all the notations for the padams. When I humbly submit here that along with the other stalwarts who have notated the compositions, the padams, I also had the good fortune of notating 2 of the padams printed in this book. I am, as I said, I got this good fortune because I am the daughter of Professor Anandamurthy garu. When Dr. Kanakam first approached me to notate a couple of compositions, I was very apprehensive because I am a musician, I play veena, but my experience in notating compositions is not there. I have never done it, and this is the first time I have attempted to notate this padams, and the two, the lyrics have to be understood, the mood, the bhava has to be understood, and with all that in mind, the composition has to be notated. So it was a challenge for me, but I sincerely hope that I have done justice in conveying the sentiments and the bhavam in the padams. I also have to mention that my daughter, Srimati Yoga Kirtana, vocalist, her guru, Sangeeta Kala Acharya, President's Awardee, Vidushi Neela Ramgopal, late Srimati Neela Ramgopal, also notated several compositions, several padams, and her compositions are there in the book. She would have loved to be attending. She would have loved to attend this. Unfortunately, we do not have her in our midst. So I was very happy to have introduced Dr. Kanakam to with Neela Ramgopal garu, who notated several compositions in this book. I composed two padams, one in Kedara Gaula, Emi Setura, in which the poet describes the pangs of separation from her beloved. So I attempted to bring out the bhava appropriately. Please excuse me, I will not be able to sing. I'll try to play just the pallavi of the Kedar Gaula Padam. I hope I can do that. The lyrics are Emi Setura Pranesha Nenetuvale Tadudura is the pallavi.
Thank you so much, madam.
I would like to say that I really enjoyed composing music for these two padams, one in Kedargoda and one in Mukhari. Now, whether I have brought out the essence of the bhava and in the way I have composed, everyone has to decide now after seeing this. I again once sincerely thank Dr. Kanakam Devaguptapu for giving me this opportunity to be a part of her book by asking me to notate a couple of compositions. And I once again congratulate her on the release of this book. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We will now have Ranjani Ramakrishnan giving us a brief presentation. She's an accomplished violin and vocal artist.
Namaskarams and pranams to one and all present here today, the esteemed guests, friends and family, rasikas and students. With the blessings of my father, my mother and guru Sita Ramakrishnan and Guru Datta Ramchand, I would like to begin this talk and share my experience with this whole new journey with Kshetrayya's Padams through the lens of translation and the meaning that Kanakam Aunty has illumined through her new book. I greatly thank Suryakala Foundation, Kanakam Aunty and Divya for providing me the space to share my perspective as an instrument of musical experience and for allowing me access into their world of language, poetry and movement in a way that has expanded my own experience of Kshetrayya's Padams, Telugu Sahitya, nuanced meanings and expressions in poetry as a cohesive whole. It has been an extremely delightful experience with Kanakam Aunty over the years. Many of our dining table conversations, eating her gourmet cookies and finest Andhra cuisine have now become books. And some have manifested as lecture demonstrations. Some are in the developmental stage to take on myriad other forms as research articles and literary publications through Suryakala Foundation, an institution that stands true to providing a free space to express, to elaborate on, and to integrate the arts. The highest purpose of every book is to inform, to evoke, to share one's experience, provide a space for a beautiful personal dialogue with the author's interpretation, while simultaneously allowing one the freedom to experience and express their own, free of prejudice and judgments. At the core, we all use language to reason, to persuade, touch, connect, and communicate with another mind. Languages have tones, they have sounds, they have rhythmic meter, emotions, and meaning. And as such, language in itself is a beautiful form of art. Language refines the core faculties of the learner and provides a beautiful foundation from which all other subjects can be learned. Auntie's enriched experience as a research scholar in English and her undeniable command over Telugu, which is her native language, her nuanced understanding of poetry, her flair for language and the arts, all of these amalgamate beautifully in her third book, this book of Kshetrayya Padams. For the longest time, it had been my desire to find an approach to learning songs in a non-native language through a book that would sensitively articulate in English a word-to-word meaning with clause splits and finally collate the overall meaning of the sentence, giving context to the whole song. A book that could encompass all the values without losing the integrity of the artistic and poetic flavor, the intended fun, and the depth of play. When Auntie brought forth her second book, Varna Varnanam, with explicit details and expression that one could easily learn Telugu and English simultaneously alongside learning the Varnams with much meaning and expression, I recognized that it was a manifestation of that deep desire I had held for a long time in my heart. I had the opportunity to actually understand the literal meaning of the words I was singing and simultaneously peel away at the layers of metaphorical implications that they illuminated over time, revealing a new dimension of interpretation every time. So thank you, Kanakam Auntie, and may we have more such books from you that help us enter a new dimension of understanding Telugu from your experience. Now, before I move on to talk about the song and how I, came upon, I don't say I came upon, the idea just came into me at some point. And I'd like to say a few words about the experience that I've had with Kshetrayya's compositions before I move on to that. Dance, music, and Sahitya go together, and one must experience them as a whole. Isolating them is the equivalent of dissecting the whole and individuating them. The music and separating the music, the rhythm, and the Sahitya. I mean, neither can the emotion of the music that fuels the Sahityam be ignored, nor can the meaning of the composite emotion that the Sahityam contains be disregarded. In Kshetrayya's Padams, the emotional melody and the rhythmic dance are intricately woven into the Sahitya. Sahitya being the container that upholds the time and space of the music and dance of emotion that he experienced at that time. One cannot deny the meaning of the Sahitya that contains a certain sweetness of emotion of the composer and choose to consume only the essence and not be affected by it. When it comes to setting the song to tune, I really didn't know where to start. My entire approach around the Padams had to change. What earlier was an essence that was giving me an experience after I consumed it was not the approach I could use in this case. As a non-native speaker of Telugu, I requested Auntie to speak the lyrics, enunciate it. I paid careful attention to the movement in her usage of the language, paying special attention to the natural flow, the sounds, the meter, the rhythm of the words, where and how she split the sentence, how she defined the clause, how she meaningfully completed the thought, and also paid attention to the dynamics in her intonation. And the truth is, one learns when one listens. So after that interpretation and holding that meaning and the notes in my hand, I was walking back and forth in my backyard, looking. I mean, I didn't know where to start, and I tried to imagine all kinds of things. Went back into the padams that I would have played as accompanying on the violin, and for a week, I think that's all I did. And one fine day, I was looking at the sun, and it was a beautiful golden hued color. It was rising right in front of my eyes, and I just could not at that point miss the Madana Avataruni Anupallavi Sangati that was in that Sudinamayane song in Kamboji. And right there, the Swaraksharams and Ma, Da, and me just kind of popped up. As I looked at the sun, and he was the Manmatha right in front of my eyes. He was the beloved, the most handsome light that I was seeing there at that point. And the entire song came forth from there. I'm sure it was not me. It was just a space of surrender for me at that point, looking at the sun. Because the sun for me is somebody that I have just known is always there. I have never had a doubt that I would wake up one day and not have the sunrise and the sun wouldn't be there, it would be a dark. They have never slept one night thinking that, there is going to be a day as such. And that all encompassing love and light, that sun became for me what was for Kshetrayya, Sri Veturi Anandamurthy, the king. And there comes the song, and what followed is what I would love to present for you right now. And I would like to say that like his face of surrender to his Moha Gopala, that sun became my guide, my friend, my beloved, all-pervading source of unconditional love and light, constantly protecting, shadowing, and basking me in that ever-radiant bubble of love and warmth. My space of surrender to that one sun, and from where this song came forth. I'd like to present the song to you. I'll start with the Anupallavi and the exact words that dawned with that rising sun. Madhura avataguni seva manaku galigene Madhura avataguni seva manaku galigene Madhura avataguni seva manaku galigene sudina mayane produm sudina mayane sudina mayane produm sudina mayane sudina mayane Dvijarajuna sevinchina divya shakunamu Dvijarajuna sevinchina divya shakunamu Vijaya Raghava Shauni Vijaya Raghava Shauni Vijaya Raghava Shauni
Thank you so much, Ranjani, for your heartfelt and eloquent response.
Thank you.
We will now have 3 brief presentations, 1 of music and 2 of dance. May I invite Vidwan Malladi Suribabu garu and his disciples to please come on stage. Dr. Amukta Maleda would like to honor Suribabu garu and Dr. Rita Rajan.
கொஞ்சம் வால்யூம் விட்டு మువ్వల గోపాల చిరునవ్వుల గోపాల ముజగముల మురిపూచే మురళీ మోహన Gopala. This is the first poem I have recorded for All India Radio, Vijayawada, for a music feature program on Kshetrayya. My Guru Boret Garu has composed this padyam and asked me to sing. That was the first step to me to know about Kshetrayya and Kshetrayya Padams. First of all, I must congratulate Sharada Devagupta garu to bring out a great work on a dynamic work on Kshetrayya, first of its kind in the history of carnatic music. In fact, Kshetrayya has shown a way for raga elaboration even before the Trinity. It's a surprising thing how he did it. Where everybody was talking about musical Trinity as well as the post-Tyagaraja composers talking about the ragas and raga elaborative shapes of the ragas. And how this Kshetrayya has developed such a wonderful attempt of singing ragas through his compositions. First, I would like to ask my students to sing the very first param I have learned from Pandigaru in the Ragam Kamboji. Bala Vinaveye Bala Vinaveye Chinnayadi modaluvani Chinnayadi modaluvani Chinnayadi modaluvani Chinnela kulonaithi Chinnayadi modaluvani Chinnela kulonaithi
எக்கடி
This is the first padam I have learned from Dr. Panigar. There are so many things to tell you, but time is very limited today. Their train is booked at 9 o'clock. Of course, I don't have a problem. My train is at 10 o'clock. But the thing is, whatever it is written in the book, it is not being sung. What is being sung, it is not written in the book. That is the secret of the music. None can explain all these things except a guru. That guru also must be a Sadguru who knows everything. And the correlation between the Swaram and the Sahityam is a fantastic thing. Kshetrayya Padam is above all. Dr. Rajan was telling, it is above the knowledge, above the notation level. There is something. Yakkadi nestamu yakkadi nenaru yakkadi nestamu yakkadi nenaru yavarikau vare yavarikau vare kadi nesamu yakkadi nenaru yavarikau vare yavarikau vare yakkadi nestamu. Mukina vinagama muvagopaluni Mukina vinagama muvagopaluni Muditayudikito sire ఏవో చెలియ ఎక్కడి నేసము. This is another param I have learned from Pandigaru. It was taught by him. We invited him to All India Radio Vijayawada, and my Guru Volet Garu recorded the music lesson program. In Surati, there is one param I have learned. Surati is a Ragam, a permanent Ragam. How to start, how to elaborate it, how to conclude it, we know everything. But this is Surati is completely different from all Suratis. This fan is very much different from other fans. ಇನ್ನೆರಡು ವಚಿದಿವಿರ ಇನ್ನೆರಡು ವಚಿದಿವಿರ ಅಲದ ನೀರು ಇನ್ನೆರಡು ವಚಿದಿವಿರ ಅಲದ ನೀರು ಇವೀರಿಗರು ಪೋರ ಅಲದ ನೀರು ಇವೀರಿಗರು ಪೋರ ಇಂದೆರಡು ವಚಿದಿವಿರ ಮದರಗಿರಿಧರುಡೈನ ಮಾಮುವ ಗೋಪಾಲ ಮದರಗಿರಿಧರುಡೈನ ಮಾಮುವ ಗೋಪಾಲ ಮದರಗಿರಿಧರುಡೈನ ಮಾಮುವ ಗೋಪಾಲ ಕುಂಡರದನ ಮದಿ ಇಡು ಇಂದು ವಚಿದಿವಿರ ಅಲದ ನೀರು ಇಂದೀರಿಗರು ಪೋರ one param I would like to sing only a part of the param in Punagavrali. This is bad.
Different, sir.
During 80s, I approached Panigaru to teach me some padams and bless me if I am competent to sing. He wrote a letter in a postcard. My age is 85. If I sit for 1 hour, I will have to lie down for 2 hours for relaxing. Even then, I can sing and I can teach you. Just like we have seen the great stalwarts on the screen now. So I started going to Kurnool and started learning Padams. One Padam has attracted me like anything. Ninnu joochi nanu gaidu ninnu joochi nanu gaidu nela layemuva gopala ninnu juda galigayenu yuna alagu ninnu joochi nayalu gaidu what are the qualifications to learn Padams? I believe I must be very much young to sing, and I must have an aptitude to sing, and I must expect some listeners to enjoy while I enjoy. These are the factors for Kshetrayya Padams. Though Pandigaru was not able to deliberately sing at that age, he was struggling like anything to bring out the raga bhavam while singing. He has taught us everything, not only to me and to my sons also. So the ragam is completely packed in Kshetrayya Padams. But unfortunately, nowadays our fingers are more than our counting, because we cannot count how many musicians sing Kshetrayya Padams and how many of us enjoy Kshetrayya Padams. But there is beauty in Kshetrayya Padams. We cannot deny it. When I met Ragam very long back, when my Guru was alive, my Guru has introduced the couple to me in Vijayawada. From that onwards, on that day onwards, we had a passion with Padams. After reading the book, go on checking the book of Kanakam Garu, a great work she has done. Kshetrayya happens to our Andhra, Krishna district, Mova. Mova temple is always there. We have sung there. We have sung Padams there, but nobody knows what is that Padam. We find only villagers in the village, and people will be coming to the temple going away. Nobody knows that is Gopala, worshipped by Kshetrayya, who lived in Tanjavur court. Nobody knows. That is the pity. But now the book has come for us to touch it and to think of it and do something, at least. Because we find so many rasikas in Chennai where people are there to enjoy ragas than the Sahityam. For them at least, we will have to do something, a research work on Kshetrayya Padams. And I still remember my Malladi Guru Garu used to say, when there was, the music academy was near Railway Central or something, before this. It was a temporary music academy building, or it was arranged in a pandal, where Brindamma and Muktamma sang Padams. People used to come out from the auditorium by weeping after listening to these Padams. That is the stature of the Padam. It's a surprising thing how Vena Dhanammal family brought all our Telugu lyrics of Kshetrayya to this place and propagated. We must thank them forever. Forever. Especially that Payada. There is no another parallel composition to that Payada of Nadanama-kriya. I believe it. Thank you for all, to you all, and especially Kanakam Garu for having arranged a very good program today. While doing a live program as well as a Zoom program. And I am very much thankful. I am very happy to see Dr. Soumya and Rajan today evening. And thankful to you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Suribabu Garu and team. We thoroughly enjoyed the presentation and look forward to more with a delayed train, hopefully. Can the screen be switched off, please? Moving on, we'll have one Kuchipudi presentation by Lakshmi Mani, my mother, who is a senior exponent of Kuchipudi and Bharatanatyam. And she's a disciple of the illustrious Guru Padma Bhushan awarded Dr. Vembadi Satyam. She will today be presenting a choreography of Dr. Vembadi Satyam, a classic piece, Etuvanti Vade, which has been tuned by his Asthana Vidwan Patrayani Sangeetaravu Garu in Raga Kalyani. And the audio recording we will be playing today is also a vintage one dating back to nearly 40 years. It is not a studio recording, but I hope the quality of the music will outshine the bad quality of recording. Etuvanti Vade in Kalyani, presented by Lakshmi Mani. Thank you. Dr. Kanakam will now hand over a memento. We will now have a Bharatanatyam presentation by Srimati Jayanti Subramaniam. She is a senior disciple of Padma Shri Awardee Sri Adyar Lakshman, from whom she thoroughly imbibed a brilliant and chaste style. She learned the nuances of Abhinaya from the veteran Padma Bhushan Awardee Srimati Kalanidhi Narayanan and absorbed the intricacies of rhythm from Sri Bhagavad Lasita Ramasharma Garu. Srimati Jayanti runs her own institution Kala Darshana in Chennai, where training is imparted in the theory and practice of Bharatanatyam to young aspirants from India and abroad. I welcome you all. I welcome you, ma'am.
Namaskaram to everyone. I would first of all like to express my sincere gratitude to Srimati Kanakam Devaguptapu and the Suryakala Foundation for having invited me to present one of the most precious gems of Kshetrayya, Vadarakapove. Auntie also wanted me to share a few words about my experience of learning Kshetrayya Padams. To learn Natyam or Sangeetam is a big challenge. Adiliyum Abhinayam kattukiradungiradhu is a greater challenge. And in that, to learn Padams is another challenge, and the ultimate challenge is to dance to Kshetrayya's compositions. Our Suribabu sir sonnar இந்த மாதிரி Kshetrayya Padam பாடுறதுக்கு வயசு வேணும். You need to be young. நாட்டியம் பொறுத்த மட்டும், I think the older you are, the better it is. Because with the battering that you get out of life, I think your experience grows and you're able to appreciate the insight that the poet had. Kshetrayya's compositions are very sensitive portrayal of human emotions, characters, and situations. Even to do one padam is an emotional drain. ஒரு வர்ணமோ தில்லானாவோ பண்ணிடலாம். அதை பண்ணிட்டு we'll still have the stamina to do the rest of the program. ஆனால் ஒரே ஒரு க்ஷேத்ரயர் பதம் பண்ணானா, it just leaves you emotionally drained out. And இது போதும்னு ஆயிடும். இதுக்கு மேலே என்ன இருக்கு பண்ணுறதுக்கு? It's enough. The heart is full. So I'm extremely grateful to Kalanidhi Mami. Mami என்ன நினச்சா தெரியல, எனக்கு நின்னு ஜூச்சி எல்லாம் சொல்லி கொடுக்கறதே I was hardly 14 years old. But the thing is, we used to revisit the padam every now and then. With every year, it will take a different shape as our age and experience grows. And we're extremely grateful to Rangarao Garu, Rao Tata as we fondly call him, who spent so many days, countless hours, explaining to us the text, the nuances, the characters portrayed. He taught us how to read in between the lines, to read above the word, below the word, and around the word. So we are extremely grateful for him and the insight that he has given to us. Today I will be presenting Vadarakapove, Kamboji Ragam and Triputatalam. I think it's an evening of Kamboji. So this padam, for some of my students who may not understand, I would like to explain the padam. It describes the heart-rending cry of a maiden who has been abandoned by Muvagopala. She has spent countless moonlit nights, scorched by the rays of the moon, hoping that he would come, but he doesn't turn up. So the sorrow slowly turns to dejection, and she reaches a state where she does not want anything of him. So she tells her friend, enough of your prattle. Why would he come here? Even if he wants to come, tell him not to. I don't want, he's someone, he's a stranger to me and I'm someone. So that was another era when we were so close together. Now it's a different time. So the two of us can never come together. It is very beautiful how in this padam, the different shades of Shringaram are seen. The intimacy with Muvagopala, which the Nayika recollects, her disappointment that he's no longer there, the hope that he would come one day, and she waits and the sorrow that she experiences in his absence, and the extreme dejection that she feels, and all her feelings are now towards Muvagopala are now dead. So the Nayika goes through an entire range of emotions and how he has packed that one padam with so many emotions, but the words are very few. That is a very, very great challenge in Kshetrayya Padams. The words are very few, and Chauka Kalathila irukku. You cannot hide behind gestures, you cannot hide behind covering of space. You just have to dwell in the emotion. It is almost like, a meditative state in yoga. When you try to go into the meditative state, it may or may not happen. Some days you're able to very easily get into the meditative state, and sometimes your mind is wavering all the time. So I feel with Kshetrayya Padams, it is like that. You are either in it or not. It may, just because we've done it well previously doesn't mean you will do it well today. You have to be in that frame of mind. You have to be in the present. I mean, I feel it's true of everything, but in Kshetrayya Padams, if you are not dwelling in the emotion, it is very difficult to convey to the audience. So, presenting to you, Vadarakapove. It's a very edited version, so bear with me for that.
I now request Devaguptapu Divya to share her thoughts about the book.
My namaskarams to everyone present here. Rangarao Garu, Rita ma'am, Soumyaka, Ragam sir, and all the other, Lakshmi ma'am, Jayanti akka, Veturi Anandamurthy garu, my mother, everybody. I didn't want to speak today. I didn't want to do anything. In fact, I told Amma, I just want to sit in the audience. I want to cheer for you. Please give me that one opportunity. First, she begged me to dance. I said, no, I'm not going to dance. But because she insisted, I'm just going to share just a couple of thoughts that I had. But I think for the first time, I don't have words. I really don't know where to start. I'm known to talk too much. In fact, most of my speeches go overboard. But I just feel so full, more as a daughter today than as an artist. As an artist too, but as a daughter, because I know I've seen the work every day. I have the great fortune of being with her day and night. We fight, of course, like every mother and daughter. We have disagreements, arguments, everything. But I've seen what she's put into this, and sorry, I'm really feeling very emotional. I really don't know what to say today. I'm not like this. But I think there's just very few words that come to me right now is love, devotion, and more importantly, mother. I think where she does her work from is really from the source. She doesn't, and that's not just from her. It comes from my Amma and the entire family that I've been so fortunate to be born into. Amma would always tell me stories of how my Amma would, she never went to school, she was not educated, she never learned music, but she loved music, she loved the arts, and she did anything she could so that her children, especially her daughters, could be educated, could learn the arts, could learn the veena, vocal. Back in the day, my Amma wanted to learn mridangam. They didn't allow her because that was not appropriate for a woman. And dance, definitely not. But this was in those times. But she kept telling me stories of how they woke her up at 5 in the morning every day, made sure she practiced. And my Amma would just, every Bahula Panchami, she would just do puja to Tyagaraja just because she just loved the music. She just wanted her children to just imbibe music, and that's it. And I think all of this just comes from that source of what it is to be a mother, what it is to be sort of the womb of creation, from where you create from a space of oneness, from a space of love, from a space of devotion, and not as a means to an end. I think that is something that has come down through my family and through my mother and through me. Why she does this, she doesn't know. Why I do it, we don't know, but we just do it. And it was never, I mean, she doesn't need a career. She's already had a career, a prolific one. I mean, she has more degrees than I do, which I'm so proud of. But, and that's all. I mean, it's just coming from that space of love and oneness, and that space of the mother that is inclusive and that just wants to do anything for her child, and her child being art. I'm just grateful to be born into this family, to have, such a lineage that I carry, and I oftentimes don't value it. I think I don't recognize its value, but I think of late, as I'm growing older, and of course, like Jayanti Akka says, when life batters you and you slow down and you become more humble, you learn a lot more things. And I just feel truly deeply grateful to be here, and to my tatas, all my tatas, because of whom my mother's father, he was one of the leading lawyers, the most, I think, well-known lawyer in Rajahmundry. He had a great, I mean, he had a career that the entire city knew about. The street was named after him in the city back in the day, in the 1920s. And she's the daughter of such an illustrious man. And that's where her research ability, her ability to, her intellectual prowess, her analytical brain, everything comes from that side. And I didn't help her. None of us helped her with anything. We didn't. In fact, I probably was more disservice because I used to keep arguing about a lot of things she did. But she did everything on her own, even writing the notation. She created her own software, how she could, place all the swaras in it, how she could place the sahityam under it. She didn't pick up a ready-made software. She found and researched and found the exact software that would work to create this entire book. She typeset it. She did not send it for typesetting. And I think I don't know of any other 74-year-old woman who can do all of this, plus making cookies and cakes and chocolates and whatnot for us every day, feeding us. And I don't know what to say, and plus taking care of my son while I am, busy dancing. So she's not human to me. I've just been blessed to be born to her, and I feel small to be able to say anything on her book today. And I'm just thankful to be here, to be able to share this joy with all of you, for all of you to have come here and been a part of this with us and stayed through this entirely. My sincere, heartfelt thank you to every single one of you. And I apologize for the absolutely unstructured speech, but there was nothing more I could say today. So thank you, Amma. And sorry.
Sometimes the best speech is a hug.
Just a mother-daughter bond.
Thank you, Divya. I now request Kanakam auntie to give
What
vote of thanks.
what kind of thanks should I say? I don't know really. My sadar pranam to every one of you. This is all that I can say. I don't want to go into frivolous words because, that's what Keats wrote. Heard melodies are sweet, those unheard are sweeter. So if you say something, it limits the meaning. If you leave it open, it's all for you to imagine, however much you want. So every one of you, all the gentleman who took the pictures, the gentleman who took the video, the person who served coffee and tea, and the others outside there who were all the time welcoming with a smile, and my husband, his caddy, and my whole family, like they put up with my book, what to say, drama or trauma, I don't know. Drama which created trauma. No, but eventually I found my space, that is in the nights, where everybody is there, no one is there. I just do what I feel like. And I get up whenever I feel like. Because what to do? I have to do my work. Otherwise, I used to feel mentally clogged. Something is going not nice. So this kind of a feeling. I thank every one of you from the bottom of my heart to share this joy with us today. Soumya, Rita ji, sorry, you're older to me, I'm extremely sorry. Soumya, I have somehow that kind of a thing. And Suribabu garu left, so with all of your blessings and your wishes, may this journey continue for all of us. Thank you so much. Thanks for being here. Thanks a lot. And I think my vote of thanks, the icing on the cake is my young Navina. She is my best brilliant pick of this evening, I should say. Because, something, I don't know them so well. I just met Madam Lakshmi in a concert and we just exchanged ideas. And it so happened we exchanged phone numbers. And when I was planning this program, suddenly it came to my mind, no, I need that kind of senior artist. I don't want the youngsters. Then when I was just watching her videos, I noticed this young lady talking in Sanskritam, talking in Telugu, talking in English, talking everywhere. I said, no, I want her. So it was like only 2 days ago I met her first. Till that time I didn't meet. It was always WhatsApp and messages and phone calls, and it went like that. So I think now she is my one of the hands. Whichever hand I need at that time, she is like that. Yeah, a small token of love to Navina. Thank you so much, Navina.
My pleasure, absolutely my pleasure and honor. Thank you all for having come. Wish you a pleasant night.